It's a lot to upload, like all these things, but so many things keep happening one after the other that I just, oh my God, I have to talk about it. So, I mean, I'm glad I get more videos out to you guys, and hopefully you guys are enjoying this. But holy moly. So the FTC, I don't know if you guys can see what we're going to talk about, but we're going to talk about it. So the FTC is like, they filed a lawsuit against Microsoft for, basically Microsoft just trying to, take over every studio, major studio that exists. So, but they're not putting out any games. I don't understand. So, anyway, due to that lawsuit that they're going through, there's some documents that were leaked. So far, I feel like it's unredacted. So, basically, they're free game. Anybody could look at them. It's not like it's illegal or anything like that. And I don't see any videos being taken down from it. And it's all over, the internet. So I assume it's all okay. So I usually don't like to speculate or talk about speculation about things that are going to happen in the future because anything can change. And even with this, anything can change. But there are some confirmed things or things that have been confirmed that these leaks basically, they're like basically, it's like a company just showing, its own itself, it's people that work within its company, what projected, like what their goals are, right, throughout the years. So that's basically what we're going to look at. So it could change, obviously, and some goals might not be met at the times that they say they're going to be met. So keep all of this with a grain of salt. But these are things that they're working toward. So that's why I feel like it's things that are confirmed, like they're actively spending money on these things to be made or that will be made. So that's why I feel like I could speak on it. Like I said, I don't really like to speculate on things that are so far in the future, but since we're getting this, like in advance, it's cool to see and cool to know. So to keep you guys in the know, we'll start with the Xbox Series X news. So one of the things that got leaked was the design of the new Xbox Series X, which is basically like a refresh, most of the time for the console generations, like the PlayStation 5 came out with the PlayStation 5 Slim. The Xbox One also came out with like a slimmer version as well. So it's like different versions of the console that's already out. And so that's what's going to happen with the Xbox Series X, which I don't know why, in my opinion, because like I said before, if you're enjoying, like, my problem with Microsoft, with Xbox specifically, is that they don't have a lot of games. Like, there's no games that I can go that I'm like, this is specifically an Xbox game and I can't wait to play this game. So, like, for example, next month, Spider-Man 2 comes out, then I'm like glad I got a PlayStation and I'm excited to turn on my PlayStation and play this, Spider-Man 2 game. Whereas for, the Xbox Series X, there's nothing. Like, now there's Starfield, which is pretty cool-ish. It's kind of boring in my opinion, but I'm trying to get to the parts that people say are exciting. And that's pretty much it. But again, I don't need an Xbox to play it. I can play it like I showed you guys on here. I can play it on my computer. With Xbox Game Pass, I can play it on my laptop. I can play it on my phone. Like, I can literally play it on my tablet, like anywhere that's not an Xbox. So I don't even the investment that I made on an Xbox Series X, I don't feel like I should have invested in it. Like, yes, it's great that I get to see it on my TV, but if I get a brand new Samsung TV with the Xbox app, I can actually play it on my TV without needing an Xbox at all. But I digress. We're getting into other things. So this is the new design, or the alleged design, what they were thinking of going for it's codenamed Brooklyn, so that's basically Brooklyn here. But this is the Xbox Series X refresh, which again is just the same console with more or less the same specs, just a new skin, like a new encasing to entice people to sell more units, obviously. So it's still going to be $500, so that's great. They upped the storage now, so instead of being 1 terabyte, they're going to be 2 terabytes internally. I think they added another USB-C port, and the controller. Oh, they made the Wi-Fi more. It's going to be better latency, basically, hopefully, and something with the controller. I'm going to get to the controller. Improve PSU, yeah. So basically, they made this console, the biggest thing that they're going to do in this new Xbox Series X is more storage, which is great because, oh, right, the big reason that they did that as well is, as you can see, there's no disc port, I guess, on this console. So it's digital only. So the new Xbox Series X is cylinder, so it's not square shaped. It's going to be discless, so digital completely. But they upped the terabyte to 2 terabytes instead of 1 terabyte, and they added an extra USB-C port, I guess, so that I could get an extra, storage and just basically have more storage because 2 or 3 Call of Duties from now, this thing's gonna be filled. But yeah, so this is the new Xbox Series X that's coming out. This is the new controller, which I'm more excited about. It's gonna have rechargeable and swappable batteries, like they mostly all do. Pretty much they work on AA batteries that you can just get the rechargeable ones if you want. But I like that they're doing the rechargeable swappable batteries because right now they've added over here. I don't know if you guys can see over here on the bottom left, the haptic feedback, precision haptic feedback, which they literally ripped from PlayStation, but it's really good. So I would like to see it on an Xbox controller because I still like their controllers. And when I'm playing their games, again, not on their consoles, but when I'm playing their games with their controllers, I'd like to feel the haptic feedback because that's pretty good. So they also are going to have the haptics double as speakers, which will be interesting. And I would love if you could have swappable joysticks and stuff like that. So that would be great, but I don't think they have that. Either way, it's a Bluetooth 5.2 brand new Xbox controller, same button layout, different color design, I guess, which is pretty good. It looks like a domino, and yeah, I'm excited for this controller specifically very much because I'm gonna use it a lot. This is the I guess the difference between the Xbox Series S and X and the new. Well, also the Xbox Series S, sorry, is also getting a refresh. But it's, I think, the same design because I didn't see any other different design versions. But instead of being 512, they're going to go to 1 terabyte because, again, it is all digital. So I don't know why they even started with 512 to begin with, but they did. So the Xbox Series S is still going to be all digital, but it's going to have the 1 terabyte. It's going to have the new controller, the better Wi-Fi, and I guess added the USB cable as well. USB port. Or no, cable. Yeah, cable, not a port. So yeah, that's pretty great. The Xbox Series X, the new ones, again, are going to have the new controller included. They're going to be all digital. They're going to have the extra storage, the 2 terabyte storage. They're going to have an extra USB port as well as come with an extra cable, USB cable. So enjoy. That's going to be coming out in next year. So that's what this says. Allegedly, next year will be the launch. I think the white is the Elwood. Yeah, that's the Xbox Series S. So 1 terabyte, again, still $300. And that's going to be between August and September of next year. Or maybe 2025. Oh, okay, 2025. And the Xbox Series X, the refurbished one, that'll be 2 terabyte, again, $500. And that'll be around the same time, but like a little later, like in October. So those are the launch times that they're looking for. But again, it might be sooner, it might be later, probably might be later. But there you go. If you want to wait to get an Xbox Series S or X, or somebody's birthday around that time in 2025, or you want to wait till Christmas 2025, you might have a new console that you can get. So there you go. Then there's other little information if you guys want to pause and just look through. It says your last chance to get the 512 will be for $200. Will be the Black Friday, I guess, right before this, the launch of the new one. So there you go. This is like the time frame of what they're thinking about. If you guys want to read through this stuff, you could pause it and read. Don't really care about this stuff yet because, again, all that might change. So what else, right? Because you're like, oh, great, we got all this leaks of the Xbox and the controller and what it's going to look like. And you're like, that's it, right? Nope, more things. So they leaked this I feel is more real than the console thing. Because again, like I said, components and stuff like that and shipping and working on it and building it out and all that stuff. They're still working on it, so I don't. That's projected what they want, but it might not be when they launch. This, games, as you know, never ever, well, rarely launch when they say they're going to launch. And again, when they say initially they're going to launch. So, again, take all of this with a grain of salt. But these are things that they're definitely working on and or spending money on and or, I'm going to keep repeating myself, but basically now we know it's confirmed that it's coming. So, and again, I'm all about games. So to me, the hype that I'm really feeling is about these games. Some of them we don't know, like you'll see Project, Ubu, Project Wanderer, Project Kestrel, Platinum. We don't know what those are. People have, estimated guesses, but we don't know exactly what those are. But they're working on them, whatever it is. So I'm glad, because that's games. But as you can see, the Xbox exclusive games here, not that many. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 planned titles, 1 planned title, another planned title on top of these. There's not really a plethora of exclusives coming out of Xbox. And to me, this is yes, I'm excited for the games that are coming, which I'm going to talk about right now. But it just shows me that they don't even have a base of games that I actually am looking forward to, a really broader sense, because mostly now I feel like Xbox to me is going to be an RPG machine, Hey, Editor Wilson here. I realized that as I'm looking through and editing that I may have fucked up. I probably fucked up a bunch of times, but definitely on the one about the games that leaked, the game list. I think those were all Bethesda games and or only maybe RPG games. I don't think that was only the games that are going to come out for Xbox. So I kind of went a little harsh talking about how they barely have any exclusives coming out, blah, blah, blah. But if it is only those, then I'm spot on. But if not, then my bad. I think that, they have other games. Anyway, back to the video. So, Oblivion Remaster, which I'm excited for because I like Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I liked Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Everybody loved it. They released it 20 times. But Oblivion is one of my favorites. So apparently now they're going to remaster it for the new console. So that's coming. That's great. An Indiana Jones game, if it's done well, I don't know who's handling that, but if it's done well, I'm excited for it. The fact that they have Elder Scrolls 6, the Bethesda that just released Starfield is now obviously, or has been working on Elder Scrolls 6, but now they're really just focused on it. So hopefully by the time, this says it's going to come out, it'll come out. What else? Fallout 3 Remaster. Again, this is still Bethesda. The Elder Scrolls Online. Ghostwire Tokyo sequel. So that's cool because Ghostwire Tokyo was cool. I played it for a little bit. It was alright, but I played it on PlayStation, so I guess it's going to become maybe an Xbox exclusive? I don't know. But I'm glad there's a sequel, because at least this is, again, a first-party, a first-party title for Xbox that's different than an RPG, and also, it kind of does play like an RPG a little bit, but it's more horror and stuff, so I like it. Dishonored 3, hype. Super hype. This is, the most that I'm hype out of all the other ones, because, again, I do play RPGs. I like Oblivion. I like Elder Scrolls. I like Fallout and all this stuff, but I really, really like Dishonored. Dishonored 1 and 2, some great gaming, and they're the ones that made Deathloop. So, if you like Deathloop and never checked out Dishonored, you should check out Dishonored because that's where they shine. The Doom, they're making a Doom game, another Doom game, and it looks like it's going to be DLC. So you see here and here, so that means basically in at least a year they'll have some extra stuff. The fact that they have Starfield DLC means new stuff's coming to Starfield, so I might actually have to play that game and finish it. But anyway, all these games hopefully come out, but I'm not, again, over the moon excited besides Dishonored. So there's not there's not a Prince of Persia on here, or I don't know. Like I said, I know Spider-Man is on my brain because it's literally coming out next month, But there's no version of that here. You know what I mean? There's nothing that gets me excited to be like, yeah, I need to go get an Xbox to play this game. You know what I mean? Besides, again, like I said, Dishonored 3. But again, don't need an Xbox because I'm pretty sure they're gonna put it on Game Pass, and I'm just playing it on Game Pass, to be honest. Anyway, yeah, this is like revenue forecast for each title. If you guys want to look at that, you can here. I'll move that out the way. You guys can pause it. Don't really care about that because that doesn't concern me. If I like a game I'm buying, I don't care how well it's doing or how bad it's doing. Other things that are happening with the Xbox Series X is the alleged console that's coming out in 2028, which is going to be the next whatever Xbox is going to call it console. And they're calling it a cloud hybrid. So they're still going to make a hardware, like a device, I guess, like an Xbox Series X or an S, that you, like an actual physical console, which again, I guess they're selling. So I don't understand why they're doing it if they're going to continue with the Game Pass and the cloud gaming. Because the fact that they are calling it a cloud hybrid means they're going to lean heavily into the whole, cloud, beta, AI thing that they're doing. So these are like some specs about it. Obviously, like the Zen 6 and the all these chips and all these things, the AMD Navi 5, like all these things are way far in the future. Some of them aren't even made yet, and they're going to basically be made by the time this console hopefully starts being created. But these are like the specs of what they want on it. One of the things that is interesting to me is the Thin OS, which I don't know what Thin OS is, but it's like $100 or less consumer or handheld devices. I really like that because, again, they don't like, I believe that Xbox wanted to buy Nintendo to take advantage of the Switch to basically just have their games also like basically have a Game Pass on the Switch, which would be amazing, but obviously make the Switch more capable. So this is, I think, their response to that, not being able to buy Nintendo. They're going to make their own kind of handheld Xbox device, which there's never been one, so that'd be pretty cool. But again, if you can play the stuff on your phone and pretty competently, like the Xbox, like I said, Game Pass, when I use Game Pass, whatever server they have these games, streaming from, because I have good Wi-Fi on my end, it streams more or less pretty well. Like I rarely have an issue when I'm on Game Pass. But yeah, another thing that they showed, which is this little device that I want to show here. I have 2 screenshots of it. This is like a closer version of it. It's a little cloud device. So another thing that they're talking about, you can see it here, right? Besides a handheld, these are all the things that they, want to, Xbox Gaming Beyond, right? They want to work on not just consoles, but all these other things. They already have, the cloud gaming and the high-end PC stuff. But the cool thing that I'm seeing here is like a 3D streaming stick or set-top box or a cloud device. So this is, I guess, another device that's not an Xbox or as expensive as an Xbox, but just a device that you can attach to maybe like a TV or a computer so that it literally is just so you can stream Xbox games, right? Because at some point, maybe they might want to, I don't know, try to get it away from you being able to access it on whatever device you want, which is stupid to me, but that way they could sell you these devices, and instead of having a giant, console in your, living room or your room or whatever, you could just have like a little tiny device that might not cost as much, but still plays all the games that they're going to put on Game Pass. And again, if they're going to really, go into the, like I said, calling this console a cloud hybrid, they're really leaning into the entire Game Pass digital, again, making even the next gen, the next refreshed version of these consoles completely digital. They're leaning heavily into you only playing these games through their medium, through Xbox Game Pass or some kind of Xbox, software. So basically, they're not even, like I said, they're going to come a time where they're not even going to sell consoles, I think, because there's no point. At that point, you literally just, you can still sell consoles, I guess, to people that don't have good streaming capability. But the fact that most of the games that are gonna come out are gonna be from their own studio-owned places that they're gonna want to put on this Game Pass thing to sell their subscription service, because subscription service, for some reason, it hasn't been working so far for like movies and stuff like that. But I guess Xbox tapped into some kind of medium that it has been, because they are leaning still very heavily into the Game Pass. Starfield, which again, millions of dollars to create, probably billions of dollars to create. And they just put it on Game Pass. So you're paying, what, $17, $18 a month, and you get access to a brand new game. Life of Pi, Lies of Pi, whatever it is, the Lies of P. the new it's like a Souls-like game. That is also on Game Pass available, Payday 4, I think, or Payday 3, gonna be available on Game Pass. Like, all these games that are coming out, brand new games, or some of them sequels, like, Payday, and still just coming to Game Pass. So I assume they're making money off of it. So they're thinking of making a console specifically for cloud gaming, like literally just so that you don't even have to have any hardware in the goddamn thing, and it's just a streaming device. So I guess there's some kind of money to be made there. And again, I feel like in this regard, they're doing it a little bit better than the PlayStation, because again, you don't need a specific device, even at the detriment to their own Xbox Series X or S right now. Even though they're still selling, it's a detriment to them that you can just get Game Pass and play it on anything. It's not, you don't need a console for it. So I feel like that's more user friendly. So I lean more towards that side of it than the PlayStation side of it, because again, yes, PlayStation to me has the better games, the more exclusive, more titles that I'm looking forward to. More times I feel like I turn on my PlayStation than I turn on my Xbox. But when I'm outside, I feel more times I'm, either on the Switch, Nintendo Switch, or on Game Pass. Never really anymore on the PlayStation, what is it, State of Play, Gameplay, whatever stupid, whatever goddamn stupid thing it's called. It's like, to be honest, it's buggy, it's not good, and again, it all depends on the Wi-Fi where I'm at, and most of the time, and then the Wi-Fi also at my home, and then having it on at my home, or turning it on, because now I figured out you can actually turn it on from the console. Anyway, I digress. Point is, I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I am liking the direction that Xbox is taking, or what they're doing. Hopefully their consoles become less expensive. But even if they don't, maybe we won't even need them anymore, because we'll have devices that we can just stream our games on. I'm very, like I said, physical friendly, not digital friendly. So I do believe you should still get these games physically when you can. But for the most part, the way that Xbox is doing it is making me lean more towards digital for their games. Like, I've not bought Starfield, the physical copy. I have not bought Payday physical copy, Lies of P physical copy. I'm literally playing it on the Game Pass, beating them on the Game Pass, and just moving forward and playing whatever next game comes on the Game Pass. Even if they take it off of Game Pass, I've already beat it. I don't feel like going back to it. And if I do, like, Starfield, when they have DLC or whatever, then I might get the physical copy. And I'm glad I have the Xbox Series X with the disc drive so that I can get a physical copy still. But going forward, I hope they still have physical media available for those that want it. And if we have to pay a premium price, like, instead of it being, let's say it's $70 for a game, that's physical. I feel like digital should be less now. Should bring it down, bring it back down to $50. So all games should be $50 digitally. And if you want the physical copy, then we'll add an extra $20 for shipping, distribution, and actually creating it and stuff. So I feel like that's a better compromise than just going all digital. Because again, when these games come off of Game Pass, if there's no physical version, yes, you can obviously pay for it digitally and still download it, but then that takes up space in your hard drive, and then also it's like they could take it down from the digital library, and even though you paid for it, it's no longer available because they lost the rights to the studio, or the studio went down, or whatever it is. So I always opt for physical media over digital media, but for Xbox Game Pass and what it's been doing, I have been enjoying the digital aspects of gaming digitally without having to actually buy a digital game, if that makes sense, right? So the last thing I want to talk about is there was this email between Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, and either somebody in his team or people within his, or just someone else within Xbox, where he's basically telling them how excited and great it would be if they acquired Nintendo, which obviously would be a career-changing move for him, and obviously that'd be, the biggest get they've ever gotten. Like, they've already gotten a lot of big studios, like basically studios that make games, but another game company would be an astronomical game changer. Out of the big three, right, it's Xbox, Microsoft's Xbox, Sony's PlayStation, and Nintendo's Switch. So right now, if like Nintendo were bought out by any of the other two, it'd be huge news. I don't think Nintendo's selling. In the email, they said they're sitting on a pile of cash. They don't know how to go about enticing them to come over to Xbox. But they are, like, you can tell that now why they have like a good kind of partnership, if that makes sense. Like, I know that Nintendo partnered with EA. Not EA. Is it EA? No, it was Ubisoft. Ubisoft for a lot of their stuff, and now Microsoft basically owns Ubisoft. So they're kind of cool, like they're warming each other up. But I don't think for the consumer it'd be good. So right now, like, a lot of Nintendo games are very, very different than the Xbox games, than the PlayStation games, and I think that's good. Like, Nintendo for me, like, whenever I have a Nintendo Switch, obviously, and if I'm playing Nintendo games, I'm mostly playing with my family, Mario Party or Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers. Like, I'm mostly playing with friends or family. That console is mostly for, like, co-op, in my opinion. Like, mostly couch co-op, or people are over, we're playing, like that. The Xbox to me has become more of like a single player kind of thing, most like the PlayStation has become to me, because again, I don't really play a lot of online games, so not really into Call of Duty or anything like that. So I'm mostly playing like Lives of P, which is right there, which is on Game Pass if you guys want to play. But yeah, like single player titles that really call to me on these consoles, and then there's single player titles that Nintendo just excels at, like Legend of Zelda. And I don't want them to change the way that they make games or do things because of now they're, owned by Microsoft. So, which I don't think they will. Like, I think Phil Spencer is smart enough that he'll be like, all right, the Xbox is this thing, and this is what we're doing in Xbox. And now we acquire Nintendo so we could do this with Nintendo and then do other family-friendly stuff that I feel he might want to do, but do it on the Nintendo platform. So I wouldn't necessarily hate it if Xbox bought Nintendo, because then I'll also be able to play, hopefully, Nintendo titles on the Game Pass, which is, again, like, I don't need a Switch. I could just play it anywhere. Like, imagine me or you or any of us playing Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on our phones. Like, God. Anyway, I digress. I don't think it's good right now anyway, because I like the competition. I like the direction that Nintendo has always been going in, except for the Wii U era. That was kind of bad. But I like that the Wii U led to the Switch. Like every falter that they have, they create the next console that's like, okay, we're going to come back 10 times better now, So now the Nintendo Switch 2, well, we're going to go into that right now. So, all right. Anyway, this is pretty much the end of this segment as far as Xbox leaks go. Like I said, Microsoft is trying to acquire Nintendo. They're not going to anytime soon, I don't think, because again, Nintendo's making money. And actually, I wanted to know, because of this, how much money Nintendo's making, and it might be a little bit more than PlayStation and Xbox at this point, but this is all anecdotal. So, according to Google, Nintendo Switch has sold over 129 million units, right? And that's just the Nintendo Switch on its own. So, PlayStation 5 consoles have sold over 40 million. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, how many have they actually sold? So yeah, 40 million or whatever. Okay. The Xbox Series S has sold over 21 million units. So again, none of them are even close to Nintendo's units. But Nintendo Switch is $300, so it's a lot less than, well, not the Xbox Series S, but it's less than the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. And again, most people see it as like a handheld / console, so it's not really a console. The computing power for it is not as strong. But that being said, again, they're making money. So I doubt that they're going to sell to Microsoft anytime soon. So those qualms, I think, we're not going to have any problems with them anytime soon. So now, what's up? Real quick, again, editing Wilson. I realize now during the segment where I'm talking about the Nintendo Switch outselling the Microsoft's Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5, some people might take it as, I think Nintendo's making more money than Xbox. And technically Nintendo's making more money than Xbox, but it's definitely not making more money than Microsoft. And I know that Microsoft owns Xbox, and I know that Microsoft has more money than Nintendo, so Microsoft could definitely buy Nintendo 20 times over. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying, like, as far as consoles go, their consoles are selling well. They're doing good revenue. Their games are also selling very well. So they're not going to sell to Xbox anytime soon. That's what I meant by it, as far as consoles go. But I understand that Microsoft makes more money than Nintendo. You know, no need to tell me in the comments. Unless you want to, go ahead. Back to the video. Just before we go over the Nintendo situation, I want to talk about the PlayStation 5 situation. So the PlayStation 5 Slim is like rumors and speculation that there's going to be a new refurbished PlayStation 5, just like the Xbox has a new refurbished Xbox. And there probably will be a PlayStation 5 Slim, I'm not going to lie. Or a new version of a PlayStation 5 that looks or does something different. It might have more storage. It might have, and they might take things from the Xbox Series X, and Nintendo stuff and think about different ways to do it. So, but right now, there's no official word on a potential release date for the PlayStation 5 Slim, and the rumors, are pointing toward it being 2023, but obviously we're here in 2023 and hasn't happened. And so these are just rumors. So I'm not gonna, like I said, I don't like to speculate on stuff, but that potentially might be coming, a PlayStation 5 slimmer version. Now, on to Nintendo. Nintendo Switch 2 is another thing that has been talked about, and allegedly it's coming. So this is another thing that's kind of confirmed, which is that the company Nintendo spoke to Activision, and they had to disclose certain things. Again, the FTC and the whole thing with Activision and stuff like that kind of led to this leak in a way. Anyway, this leak is cool because, again, it just confirms that Nintendo Switch, since it came out, a little bit before the Xbox and the PlayStation 5, it has a little longer life generation. So I feel, even though they made the Switch Lite and the OLED or whatever the other Switch that they did, the performance for those is still on par with the first Switch. So now, especially amidst the especially amidst what just happened with Mortal Kombat 1, let's put it that way, they're going to release the Nintendo Switch 2, which has it's going to have better, it's going to have a better capacity to deal with games. So it's supposedly going to be on par or closer aligned, as they say, to a PS4 or Xbox One, which is pretty cool, to be honest. A PlayStation 4, Xbox One that you can literally take with you and go anywhere and, do anything with, that doesn't have to be connected to the internet, and, you can play whatever games on, Nintendo games on. I think it's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. I might get the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm not sure. It depends on how much different it actually will behave. And that's, again, because of what happened recently. So, the Nintendo Switch 2 might be coming out. Obviously not late 2022. This is old. But it will be coming out probably next year, if not maybe the end of this year. We don't know yet. But definitely it is coming, the Nintendo Switch 2. So anyway, those are all my thoughts for today. It's a very long video. I'm going to try to cut it down as much as I can. Let me know what you guys think down below about anything that I've said, about the Xbox leaks, about the Nintendo Switch 2, about the PlayStation 5 Slim, literally anything. Let me know down below. And next we're going to talk about, next video is going to be a little bit mean towards Nintendo. So just remember, I love Nintendo. This has been a useless skill.